what brought Fit Genes into your world, and what made you think that, hey, this might work?
Now, for me, because I'm a molecular biologist, when I got wind of this through a naturopath, there was a company that was running Nutrigenomics classes. My ears pricked up, and I thought, I must go. I must find out about this. And so I did the course and realised it was right up my alley. And and I just loved it. So it's the perfect marriage of my two passions, being molecular biology and nutrition. So Nutrigenomics, this is perfect.
So just on that, tell me about your background and your qualifications.
Yeah, I have a PhD in molecular pathology. And I've worked with CSIRO. I worked as a scientist. So I worked in disease resistance for 25 years, and I did a lot of work in nutrition. So they cross over food nutrition and food research. Okay. And then my son was born and he had a lot of health issues, so I retrained in nutrition to help him, never expecting to do anything with it. I just really wanted to help him to get better. Yeah. And as it happens, the way this has panned out, I'm actually now using both skill sets together, the molecular biology and the nutrition background. And of course, with the boys being autistic, when Fit Genes approached me to say that they were running this Autism Initiative, it was like Christmas, because that's like the trifecta. I'm passionate about autism, I'm passionate about nutrition, I'm passionate about genetics, and this is the trifecta. Yep. So I feel like I was born for this.
Oh, and then you met Paul Bieber.
And it's just marvellous, yeah. So it's just been a wonderful, wonderful experience for me. And to have such beautiful results in my family, knowing I wanted to try it out with my children first before I rolled it out to everyone else, and just seeing these amazing results with my little ones gave me every confidence to go ahead with it.
So can we talk about your practice a little bit, and maybe some of the results, just talk generally, no names, about some of the results you've seen with some of your key patients?
Yes, certainly. We're getting fantastic results. It's so exciting. So we're seeing the parents come in. I don't tell them what I've seen previously, so I just say, have you noticed anything? I don't say positive or negative, I just leave it open. Please tell me what's happening. Everyone, they're all saying they're increasing their eye contact. They're so much more calm than they were. They're more sociable. They're trying so hard to be sociable with their friends instead of running away. And as they say these things, I sort of giggle inside, because that's exactly what's happened with my children. That the teachers are saying they're concentrating so much better at school, they're managing in a mainstream classroom. These things, it's not coincidence. Parent after parent after parent after parent after parent is telling me the same thing. So it's so marvellous to see this happening. We're getting even more stunning results with the very low functioning children. So
explain a low functioning child.
So on the spectrum, autism is a big long spectrum, and we have low functioning children. And my youngest was very low functioning, so non-verbal. Sometimes they can't even walk very well without assistance. They may be in a wheelchair. Terrible issues, quite disabled. Right through, the spectrum goes right through to the other end, which is the Asperger's end, very high functioning. So my eldest son is on the high functioning end. So it's been interesting for me having two children, one at each end of the spectrum, and seeing how they've progressed through this project. So I'm seeing the biggest, most startling results with the children at the lower end of the spectrum. Yeah, and so we're starting to see some speaking from the non-verbal children. Some of the ones that they can still be considered non-verbal if they have 10 or 12 words, that's still called non-verbal. So some of those children with just a handful of words are speaking in phrases now, which is really exciting. Some of the children that were speaking the occasional phrase are speaking in longer sentences. And in fact, some of them, the mothers have said, I just want them to stop talking. They're talking so much, and they're about to say, stop. And then they think, no, speak. They've waited all these years to hear them speak. It's as if some switch has gone on and they just, can't stop yabbering. So it's very exciting.
So this kind of indicates that these children can hear and understand all of these things. They just can't.
They haven't been able to get it out. That's right. The information's all been scrambled in there. I do believe reducing inflammation from the brain, reducing inflammation on the gut, it has to be helping.
Yes. Yeah.
It just makes sense.
Yeah. And do you have any problems convincing parents of this? It'd be hard to, because it's such an expensive thing to have a child with autism, isn't it?
It is.
And to convince them that, look, I've got something new here. and it's going to cost you some money, but gee, it's worth it.
So far, I haven't had any trouble at all when I speak about my own experiences and show them the science behind it. But I think that's the main thing, that every gene on the panel is backed up by research. We know that inflammation is up in children with autism. We didn't know why. Was it a genetic problem? Are they overexpressing inflammation because of their genes? Or is there some kind of environmental trigger? And so this little pilot has allowed us to look at that. And sure enough, they have defects in their genes. And they are constantly 24/7 pumping out inflammation. So that is, it's staggering. It's really interesting to see that, and we know how to help them. That's the main thing. They don't just get a profile with a bunch of dots and see you later. We actually know how to downregulate the genes and fix it and bring it back to where it should be. And that's the power of this program, is that we can upregulate genes that aren't working. We can downregulate genes that have been too powerful, and get them back to that steady state where they were meant to be all along, and get the body working for itself instead of throwing in heaps of supplements from the top down, which a lot of doctors do. They just give them far too many band-aid approaches. Just throw all this stuff in and something might work. And there's no science behind it. I love that this is scientific, and we look at what genes are broken and we fix them and we support them from the bottom up so that they can produce the right product on their own. We don't need to give them the supplement, they can make it themselves. It's a very powerful project.
Good. That's amazing. And it's because the science of nutrigenomics, it's the food interacting with the genes as well, isn't it? And so you're very active in preparing a lot of your own foods and fermenting.
Indeed, absolutely.
Yes. Even though it's quite time consuming, it yields amazing results.
Huge results. We see that. That's the main thing. I teach children, particularly autistic children, fussy eaters, how to eat real food. And parents come in, it's impossible, all they eat is bread and chips. And I say, no, it's not only possible, it's entirely doable, and we are going to do it together. And that's what we do.
So it's a bit of an awareness campaign up front, isn't it?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
How do you go, I would imagine taking a DNA swab would be quite difficult.
It can be.
Yeah. And
some children are more tactile and hypersensitive than others. I've made YouTube clips of doing it with my own son, because autistic children like to watch and they like to copy. So I show them clips of how it's done. I send that to the mum before they come to the appointment. We practice. I have a spare swab. I let them see it and touch it. We practice on mummy. We practice on a teddy. We do all sorts of things. I have a therapy room that we use, and if they're really upset, we can go in the therapy room on the swings or the lycra or the spinning disc, whatever it takes to calm them down and regulate them and get them to trust me. We can do I often do my sessions in the therapy room with mum. We just sit cross-legged on the floor with the laptop and do whatever it takes to get the child regulated and happy, and we build rapport. Yeah.
And I imagine taking a blood draw would be even harder again.
Yes, and so again I have a lot of support around that. I've drawn up a social story for mum to put the child's name in, but it explains everything from go to woe of what's going to happen. We practice on Teddy. I have a beautiful YouTube clip of a child not flinching at all, so we set that expectation that it's no big deal, and they get a lovely reward at the end. Mum gets to decide what the reward is. Yeah, so I give a lot of support around these things. And I love that the blood testing matches with the sequence, that we have inflammation genes in the sequence, and then we look at the inflammation in the blood work, and we can see, sure enough, it's high. And we look at the oxidative stress, we look at the oxidative stress genes, and they're broken, and then we get the pathology results back, and sure enough, they have massive oxidative stress. And so the blood work is just so important to be able to mirror with the sequence, and then we can put in the interventions and check it again in a few months and check that we're on the right track, that the inflammation is coming down, that the oxidative stress is coming down, that the vitamin D is coming up, those sorts of things that we can actually see empirically in black and white. It's a wonderful program.
And then you're looking at it from with a scientific lens. The parents are looking at it from a social and an emotional level as well. So you can sort of see that there's results across both of those.
Absolutely, I see it both ways.
Yeah.
My little boy yesterday, he's so funny. He was sitting on the couch and he kicked his feet up and he sat there and he says, oh, look at me, Mum, I'm just kicking back and relaxing. And we couldn't stop laughing. It was just so
Not
cute.
something you would have said previously?
Never in a million years did I think I would ever see my little boy say that. It was so beautiful.
Would you recommend the Autism Initiative to other practitioners as a valuable clinical tool in treating ASD patients?
If the practitioner works with autistic children, absolutely.
So there really needs to be some background there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
These are not typical clients by any stretch.
Yeah.
No, not at all. We have to navigate a minefield of sensitivities